It was the Elon Musk thing.
Oh yeah, buying the company because that could happen, right?
Yeah.
Warren Buffett. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Okay. Oh, what do I click on again? Hold on a second.
Oh, sorry, I haven't shared it yet.
Okay, well, hold on 1 second. My alarm clock for this meeting just went off. Let me shut it off.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, sorry about that. I got this. It's a physical alarm clock that looks like an old analog clock, but takes about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it works perfectly, because if the web goes down and you've got a reminder that's not, you're screwed.
Right.
All right, so, oh yeah, it says live. Okay, so I click on live, I think.
Yeah, here we go.
And
Also,
there's-
it's so annoying. There's this glitch in Discord where you can't if you change the event time, you can't start it. So like, there's just this pending event right now, which is so stupid. But anyways,
you can't start the stream before the event starts?
no, it's just like when I make a Discord event, which like pings everyone that the event's actually happening. If I
you can't.
I can't start it because one of them is different than the rest. It's just a stupid thing.
Yeah, Discord's got a few of those. Like their editor, if you hit home or end, it doesn't go to the home or end of the sentence. It goes to the top and the bottom of the edit box. And I don't know about you, but I've seen how fast you type. But my fingers, I don't type as fast as you, but pretty close. And there's things in my fingers I cannot consciously override.
Yeah, exactly. But so yeah, I mean, just because it's the two of us, I mean, this will just be fun. But yeah.
Well, you feel free to sing in this session if you want.
Oh, definitely. I'll be singing. I'll be singing all right. But yeah, so this is pretty much a lot of this is taken from the ecosystem town hall today. Some of it I've taken out, but this is more like the interesting stuff that I thought. So this was like some progress that they're going to be talking about since day one. One is like just some cool metrics I thought. One is like overall L1 usage, so 200,000 daily transactions across the weeks. The L1's been pretty stable, 64 validator set, and nearly 1 million wallet addresses users, so that was pretty cool. ETH Denver, which I took out, but we had that major ETH Denver activation, and then we also had like a bunch of cool like reports from Grayscale and Forbes. So this was like the Grayscale report where they put IP token on there, which we talked about actually last week in Dev Office Hours, which was pretty cool. And
wait a minute. Did that thing say 1.5 billion market cap for SP?
For Story Protocol?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.5 billion market cap.
Holy crap! All right, never mind. I didn't want to get the wrong idea.
Yeah, 1.5 billion. And yeah.
And you have about half of that personally.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I'm for the YouTube stream. No, I do not.
All right.
But yeah, fully diluted.
Then Jacob, we can't hang out anymore.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah. But yeah, 5.8 billion fully diluted market cap. Damn.
Wow.
Crazy.
Damn it.
Yeah. So this is some cool ecosystem stuff that's been happening. Cerebro, which is an AI agent, became a validator for Story. Inscension is working on Emergence, which is that awesome, David Goyer, sort of series. Aria raised $10.95 million on Stake Zone, which was all like community driven. Ablo announced partnership with Crocs, which is super cool, and more. And just I guess also just some other stuff like Layer Zero. There's some cool NFT products in here. Story.fun, IP World, which I love. Stargate, which is a DeFi platform. Just a lot of cool stuff. And also Circle, which we talked about, which is like the USDC. And just some cool other traction. Story is engaging in a research partnership with Stanford and Oxford University to talk more about RWAs and how that applies to on-chain IP. And some other just
what's WTF?
Where? Oh, this?
Yeah.
This I think that's what the frog. I think that's like a meme. Yeah, that's a meme. It's on
Hell
like
of a slide.
yeah, it's on IP World, I think, and another NFT project. But this is just some of the cool photos. This is like the partnership with Crocs. This is David Goyer. This is the Oxford, partnership.
Hippie on Crocs. Okay, good.
Exactly, yeah. And then of course the IP portal, which was our huge launch. This is only going to continue to get better, and it allows you to monetize IP. And this was like the cool little video for it, which I believe everyone's probably seen on Twitter. So I will skip out of that one. Oh God, now to figure out how to get back to my slides here. Okay. So then some dev updates, which we've talked a lot about. I've mentioned this every week. The USDC is now on Story. But also one thing I haven't gotten to talk a lot about, which I think is super cool, is the Story attestation service. SAS is kind of like the dispute mod. Well, so the dispute module is like the ability to flag IP and take it down and arbitrate on it and send it to UMA, and actually have people like look at it. But the SAS is sort of like a decentralized approach to IP validity. So it basically has a bunch of different providers, like Verio, for example, or Yakoa and PEX, which are like AI detection providers. And it's basically like a bunch of these providers going in and each proving the validity of IP in their own way. So on the IP portal, you can see that like Yakoa does an automatic scan of IP, and if it's infringing, then it'll flag it. And similarly on Verio, they allow you to stake on IP, right? And the more that's staked, the more that people are attesting to the fact that it's a valid IP. And in the future, there's going to be like let's say 1,000 badges, where each badge is from their own infringement provider, and they're each talking about or they're each proving the validity of that IP in their own way. So I just think it's super cool. And
is any of that C2PA based?
Not yet. But C2PA could be one of those providers, for example. I guess because C2PA is more of like a standard, a provider could leverage C2PA in their process. But yeah, that's a good point. And then looking ahead, this is just some updates on the team. So obviously, I've talked about the SDK releases. We're gonna have an L1 upgrade in April, and also a protocol release happening on April 11th. So I will, of course, cover those in upcoming dev office hours. This SDK version, which I've mentioned in the past 2 weeks, is also coming, I believe, tomorrow. So I'm going to, release all the release notes, updated examples, everything, updated documentation for that. So that is coming soon. Most importantly, this just makes it easier for people to make PRs, but also allows you to mint private license tokens, which is a pretty cool, idea. And again, just sort of opens it up for easier PRs. So this is the developer community. We are planning on having a build-a-thon or boot camp or hackathon, we're not sure what we're calling it yet, in May to June, called Surreal World Assets. This is mainly going to focus on, it's going to be totally virtual, so you could participate in it as well. And it's going to be about 4 to 6 weeks long, maybe 5 weeks, I think. And it's going to really focus on real-world assets. And we're going to get a bunch of different people to come and, sponsor it. It's going to be not story-specific. It's going to be RWA-specific. So lots of opportunities there.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, Jacob.
Yeah.
Pop quiz. I want to see how good your knowledge is. What's the significance of that clock? Because I'm betting most of the young people out there will never get it.
Of this clock?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Isn't that from a, this could be totally off, but I've seen this somewhere in a painting. I don't know what.
Wow, man, you are smart. No, I didn't think you'd get that worth a damn. That's exactly right. It's been used as kind of associated with the idea of hallucinogenics like LSD. But yeah, it's from a very famous painting of a surreal painting where the clock is melting, and that's one of the elements that marks it as surreal. You nailed it in one, dude. All right, I'll shut up.
Oh wow, okay. Well, I'm psyched I got that. I had sort of remembered it from a painting I had seen, but I couldn't. I was nervous about that. But all right, I got it.
Look at Hippie's eyes. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's losing it. Yeah. And then on top of that, which I think is pretty cool, so we want to open the sort of like the floodgates to decentralized community building. So for anyone watching this stream, if you're interested in sponsoring an IRL meetup, or even like a virtual hackathon, or anything that you think would, get people building on Story, we want to sponsor you. So whether it's like a meetup at your local bar, you want to get some college students together with some pizza, you want to do a virtual hackathon for a day that just costs a couple $100, something that's low budget but you think is cool for the community, we would love to sponsor you. So you can always reach out on Telegram to Nick, who's our events lead, or me, honestly, and I'm happy to refer you. But yeah, this is just for fun meetups that you want to host. I'm gonna skip this. Also, for anyone listening, if you're building a product and you have a marketing request, this is where you're building a project and you want to schedule something with our marketing team to get the word out for your project. You can of course do that by going to this marketing kit. This basically, if you go to it, you'll see it's a whole marketing kit where you fill out when you want to talk about, when you want to announce what your project is, what kind of support you need, and then we'll coordinate when we can retweet and get support for your project. Now this is I thought this was kind of cool I actually include this because I thought you would find this interesting. But this is just a note from our security team on best practices, and I feel like you would have some input on this. But so this is all their sort of their advice. So using password managers to generate long passwords, like one password. Length is the best metric for password security. So using again random symbols, but also the length of it. Spaces count. And these are the recommended two-factor authentication apps, so Google Auth and Twilio, or Hardware 2FA. Do not use a phone number for two-factor authentication. It can be SIM swapped. Hackers duplicate your SIM. You suddenly lose reception. They gain access to your 2FA. There's also a ton of email phishing, obviously. So Gmail labels external emails. A member of the team would never have that label. So, I guess be careful of this. Low effort. Airdrops, I get these emails probably 50 times a day from people trying to scam me. They'll email me from SY's account or some shit like that. And I'm like, oh my God, my CEO's emailing me. And that's just a total scam. Also, fake DocuSigns are huge. This happens to me all the time, actually. I don't know what this is. Much harder to detect. Usually two flavors. Teammate social media impersonation. Blah, blah, blah. Someone impersonating. Impersonating by phone or social media. Attackers do their research, obviously. So do your due diligence. And there's been so many hacks on Telegram recently. It's actually kind of disturbing. I don't know what's going on, but I think someone hacked into Telegram's verification bot or something and stole a bunch of info from that. Yeah. So just a lot of stuff on that. Yeah. They can impersonate your friends and family. Join the stablecoin revolution. So sending a Google Meet. And yeah, like I said, Telegram is an absolute minefield. So have 2FA on, disable phone number visibility, disable being added to groups, disable auto media download, because you could always download a PDF that gets into your fucking browser history and stuff. No official Telegram account will ever DM you. There's been tons of these where a Telegram security bot messages you, and actually one of our close partners / friends at Story was taken advantage of because of something like this. So definitely be careful. And that's it. So yeah, just thought this was an interesting quick recap from our town hall today.
So that AI Agents Berlin, is that online or is it in person only?
Which one? The one, let's see.
It's the one you were talking about when you were talking about how to make a request to your marketing department for just past it. There it is.
Oh, this one. This one.
No, two above.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah.
Let's see. AI Agents Berlin, Thursday, March 27th, Graham. Well, this, I believe, is already done.
Oh, I do. Okay, so you need a time machine. All right.
Yeah, right, yeah. You got to get in this clock and go back a day.
In that clock, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I think this is one of the examples where someone hosted this in Berlin, and we sponsored it with a couple $100. Let me see what other ones I didn't go through a second.
See, what I would really like to see from Story is them starting to finance people to hold contests to have people not only register IP assets, but also give prizes out for the people who get the most people to remix those assets. That I think would would get the people up to speed faster.
Interesting. So you're saying like an incentive to have people like remix assets?
Yeah, well, for example, like one prize might be, and you can't do this stuff like that. There's a whole. Anyone who does the Discord server thing knows quite well how that most of the activity there is just this ticky tacky engagement stuff meant to keep the community going. I'm not denigrating it, but it's it's little stuff, so all kinds of people out there can make a few bucks here and there. But I'm talking like real major prizes. Like let's say someone who says the first person who gets 1,000 people to generate real ETH royalties on a commercial remix IP gets like $5,000. Something that's going to motivate people without bringing too many of the scammers out, because you get up to like the 300K range, like in the Google contest, and you get some really weird stuff going on. But $1,000 to $5,000 is going to get people out of bed. And like someone who remixes 1,000 real IP, 1,000 licenses for one real IP asset. Well, that's going to get people. That's going to do two things. One, it's going to show people. It's going to get the word out. People are going to see this happening, but they're going to see real money accrue for a real Story Protocol IP asset. And that, I think, is the most powerful wedge or freight train people can create to really get people motivated about Story Protocol. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. My initial worry is like, if there's a prize like that, people will find a way to just like spam create remixes or something. But I agree with you. If there's a way to like, attest to the fact that there's, 100 real, even like 100 real remixes of an IP asset that's all, paying a certain amount of money to do that and has commercial rev share, I think would be super powerful. I mean, monetization is the main thing that we're looking for. So,
well, but did you make YouTube videos before you started doing this SP videos?
Yes.
Okay, I've been doing YouTube videos for 20 years. And it's not just YouTube. There's this absolutely, and especially now with AI, you can make money making a YouTube channel of AI, fear of AI. But there are millions, literally millions of people who are creators who can't make any money. YouTube wiped out entire legions of people when they changed their rewards. I was one of them. I used to make a little bit of money off YouTube, and then they changed the number of minimum watch hours and just kicked me out of the program completely. Those people, if they could see, not BS, not a scam, a real place where they could go make things and get paid for what they're doing, I think that you would spark a revolution. And I know how what a superlative statement that is, but I genuinely believe that, because what's the easiest way to make money is to capitalize on people's genuine frustration. It's called populism. It's why USA changed radically in the last election. Well, you got millions of creators out there who are furious that their work is being remixed by AI, who can't make money anymore of YouTube and many other creative services, stock photo sites, you name it. And Story Protocol, even though this sounds like Bashir talk, is genuinely the solution for those people.
Right. That's a really good point. It's funny, while you were talking about that, I was imagining like one of those classic like YouTube short ideas where like it'd be cool if like I registered an asset on Story, which I have. I've registered like my profile picture and other stuff on there. And if I had like 3 people mint a like one IP license to it, I would have $15 right there, and I would go and buy a Chipotle burrito with that money and eat it. And that's
yeah,
like
I know, but you got millions of really talented artists busking on the streets of Madrid who are poor. Right. And so for us in America, although the middle class is down blasted, it maybe seem kind of trivial, but for millions of people, it could pay their food. I've seen people staking on some of the better blockchains and reporting that they're feeding their family.
Right. No, 100%. That's a really good point. I definitely got to find good ways to like market that the royalty on Story, because again, that's like the whole point, right? Is once people start making money, then that real unlock is there. So I think that's a really good idea, like incentivizing people. But how do you like? What's the best way to get real? Like, how would you go out in the world and get real remixes of an IP? What's the approach?
Well, see, I'm a musician, so I'm going to give a biased answer, and I really hate when I do that. But the problem with the AI art, and I'm just talking in this weird smearing between marketing and development, but I think everyone is fairly well, if not sick, they're definitely saturated with AI art. Does that resonate with you at all?
Oh, completely. I just made a whole Twitter thread on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. If you could give me the link, that'd be great. But anyway, so everyone's saturated with that, but there's still millions of musicians out there. So if are there, I can't separate one set of facts from the other. Like I went to look for a Cerebro song I could remix, and I found their IP asset pages, but they had no license terms at all associated. Are there any Cerebro songs that you can actually remix on SP right now?
I thought there were. There should be. Let me check myself. Um, let me check. I think the portal could do a better job of search. Wink, wink.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder what he's talking about.
Yeah. Um, like why can't I just search for Cerebro?
Well, that's right there. I mean, and it should be an LLM. Well, show me all the music available that is commercial remix, blah blah blah, with a minting fee less than 1 ETH.
Right. I mean, it's 100%. Oh, here we go. This is Cerebro's Lost song.
Okay, but when you go to the IP license page, what do the terms say?
Yeah, there's no license. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always think, because I wanted to remix that song, to put a guitar solo on it, and I thought that'd be a perfect little way to do a remix. And that's the thing is, because I think one thing that could be done, and I know you guys, even though you're funded, money's never easy, but still, I mean, to have a contest where anybody who's how do you stop people from submitting AI music that they didn't write?
Yeah.
Well, that's where the commercial remix comes in. So go ahead and let them. So everyone, what you do is you have, let's say, the first, I don't know, make it a fairly large number. The first, somewhere between 100 and 1,000. That's for you guys to decide. I'm delegating.
Yeah.
But somewhere between 100 to 1,000 people. If you submit something that is a genuine effort, and that's up to you guys to decide, because that allows you a last ditch effort to be able to keep out the scammers. 100 to 1,000 people, if they submit something viable, they get not maybe like $20 or something, right?
Yeah.
Nothing huge, but enough that someone will get out of bed for it. And you get 1,000 people to do that, and then they go in there and they submit these things, and like the top remix, the one that's picked by the community as the number one, they get like wow, like $3,000, a real prize. Because the thing is, sure, what everyone is fighting in these industries is you go do these contests, you go do this or that, and it's like throwing a rock in the pond. You get this nice little ripple, and then it goes dead because of the fire hose.
Yeah.
But the result is permanent. So in other words, if someone, to get to that $3,000 prize, got 1,000 people to remix their license, well, okay, you can tweet that, you can publish that, you can go to the Reddit forums and post that over and over and over once a month for ad infinitum, because it's now a real event in a real industry. And I think once you got to get past the 100th monkey. Are you familiar with the 100th monkey phenomenon?
No. What is that?
Okay, it's a story, and I hate to say it, it's gotten a bit of an urban myth community note, but it's still a great truth. It's also been called the Fibonacci phenomenon. But they had these monkeys on an island, and the monkeys would eat the clams from the beach. And when they eat the clams, you could see them. There's sand on the clams, and you could see them pulling the sand out of their mouth. And one monkey figured out if you washed the clam in the water, you didn't have to eat the sand. And then there were 4 monkeys that were washing the clams, but still there were hundreds of monkeys around them that just were still eating sand, because that's how they knew how to do it. Once they got up to around 100 monkeys that were all washing the clams, the whole island went the same way. So there's a critical mass in any phenomena, which if you fall below, everything you did for promotion is a complete waste of time. If you hit it, then you get what's called going viral, and everybody picks up on it, and now you have a real phenomenon. So you have to choose your marketing efforts with these things in a way that not only creates a splash, but also creates a splash that is sustainable. And I believe that if you could get whatever the right amount of money is for you guys, the right up here, someone coming at 10 at 11, the right amount of money for you guys, where you're willing to put it out to get to not only the splash, but an event that you can publish, and that and musicians and other people will go, hey, no, I can actually make money here. It's not just another depressing little shot in the dark. Anyways, I feel like I went too long in that, but that's what I think might work.
No, I totally agree, and that is really interesting. Also, yeah, I've never heard that the monkey clam phenomenon, but that's cool. I agree
Well,
with
yeah,
you. Like,
but Jacob, you're not a monkey. I am. So
right? Yeah, yeah, but I agree with you. Like, I think there is a point at which, like, enough people see that royalty collection can happen and people can make money on story, where it becomes like, oh shit, okay, wow. So that's
well, see, because that's what I think right now with your current marketing plan. It's a double-edged sword. Yes, it's great that you're getting some of these larger players, but the little guy's going to look and they go, oh yeah, another influencer making money, and I can't figure out how to get that to happen for me.
right. Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to try to think of ways that I can encourage smaller, artists and creators like me. Even I'm not even that good, but like for me to even earn royalties and show that that's possible, I think is really cool.
What are you, a painter, a musician? Or?
I'm trying to get into music. I've been playing a lot of guitar. I was learning.
Yeah, I'm electric guitar player.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was learning "Landslide" by Fleetwood Mac. It was definitely a favorite song of mine.
Landslide. Okay, all right. I'll go look that up later. I've never heard of
It's
that
a
one. I'm
beautiful
familiar
song
with,
on acoustic guitar.
Chains Hold Us Together and stuff like that. Oh, you're learning acoustic guitar.
Yeah, yep. And also Blackbird by the Beatles, amazing. Love playing that too. But it's super easy to play. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah, I'm a metalhead. I'm antisocial.
Well, what's up, Ramses? It's good to see you. I don't know if you saw the announcement. I think a lot of people must have not seen it this week, but we had to have developer office hours 30 minutes earlier because we have a ecosystem town hall happening right now, actually. But I recorded the whole thing, and actually, you know what? If it helps, if you still want to make a recap, then no pressure, obviously. But I have this link here to the slides, which just talks about some interesting stuff. I think again, if you don't want to make a recap this week, totally fine. If you do, I would honestly maybe just repeat some of the stuff from last week, because this slide deck has some boring things I think that Twitter wouldn't really love. Like there's a whole section on security, best practices, and stuff like that. So maybe even we could skip the dev recap this week. But if you find any interesting info in there, obviously you're welcome to. Oh, you got sick? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, skip the thread this week. We'll take a skip week. I hope you feel better. Yeah, I love that emoji. Well, feel better, Em says, and I'll put the slide deck and the recording in the announcement so people can check that. And next week we'll have it at the same time. So I'll see you at 11 Eastern next week. Hopefully you'll feel better.